All right. So this is the review number 3, chapter 5 and 6. Okay. We have 20 questions in the exam. So I have about, I want to say 40 questions here. So we're just going to do half of them. The other half, remember that they are posted in Blackboard and their exams and reviews. And this will be posted there too. All right, so let's do this one. What do we need to do here? Let me just rewrite this. I'm gonna start getting rid of the parentheses. This is the plus sign. Nothing changes inside of this parentheses. Right here is when it changes, all right? Because this is negative. So it's like I'm multiplying. Just pretend that we have a 1 here. And this 1 happens to be negative. So negative 1 times negative 5, that's positive 5 p squared q. Negative 1 times positive 7, negative 7 p q squared. All right, so this is what we're doing. So 8p to the third power is going to be the only one that I see here. Now, do I have p squared? Yes, I have p squared times q and p squared times q. This is negative 3 and this is positive 5. So my answer is going to be positive 2p squared q. All right. Now, I have pq squared right here and right here. Positive 2, negative 7. So my answer is going to be square. And don't forget this one that I didn't find. This one and this one, they come down because there's nothing to add to those. There's not another term, q to the third, or another term, p to the third. And that's it. We're done here. Now, this one says, simplify each exponent and express your answer with a positive exponents. Remember, we're always going to want answers to be positive with positive exponents. So the rule says that we are going to copy the base and we're going to subtract the exponents. So it's going to be 3 minus 18. That will be negative what? 1, negative 15. What do we do now? We find the reciprocal of x, which is 1 over x. And this sign is going to be, from negative, it's going to be positive. That's how it is, all right? Now, let's go to number 5. It says simplified. It's hard kind of to see, but yeah, this one's, so what do we have here? We have the same base, which is 5. We have a c plus 25 plus 8. When we are multiplying numbers with exponents and the numbers are the same, meaning the base is the same, what I need to do is just add the exponents. That's what I'm doing here. 25 plus 8 is 33. All right? Now, this one says simplified expression. Okay, so I have a 9. B to negative 5. So what am I going to do? This is going to be what? 1 over b, right? It's going to be the reciprocal to the fifth power. So this is equal to 9 over v to the fifth power. Now, let's do this one. This is power to a power. This is what we have there. So 5 times 7, 35. Exactly the same with this one, power to a power. Now, let's do 11, right? 11 says simplify the expressions by applying several properties. Yes, we have to do that. So then, let me rewrite this. Okay, that way it looks bigger here. And we're going to take the first one. So we have, don't forget that we have a 1 here. So we're going to say, we're going to apply this power. Multiplied power to a power. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. The same here. 9, 1 times 3 is 3. And 7 times 3 is 21. All right? So this would be what? 9, 8, 9 times 9, 27. And 27 times 9 is 729. So I could multiply these two numbers, which is 6,561. Copy the bases, and I'm going to add the exponents. All right? So first, I did the property power to a power. That's what I did. Then 3 times and because we have the same base, I'm going to add the exponents. That's what I did. Now this one says divide, and they want us to express our answer in a decimal form. Okay. So first, we could divide this here. We have 7.5 over 3 and 10 to the 11th power over 10 to the 8th power. When I do this in the calculator, I get 2.5. And here will be 10, 11 minus 8. So what do we get? 10 to the third power. And what is 10 to the third power if they want us in a decimal form? We're going to move the decimal 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So my answer is going to be 2,500. All right. Now let's do 15. 15 says they want us to convert that one to a decimal form. Okay, so what do we have? 6.47. Because it's -6, we know it's going to be a very small number. It's going to be a decimal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 spaces. Okay, so my answer is going to be 0. That's going to be my answer, right? Now, number 17 says multiplied and collect like terms or combine like terms. So we could do that. We're going to W times W squared, W to the third power. W times negative 9W is negative 9W squared. And the last one is going to be 10W. So we just did that. Now, with 7, negative 7W squared. 9 times 7 is 63, right? So it's going to be positive 63W. And my last one is going to be negative 70. I could have written this right here underneath. It would have been a lot easier if we do that. Okay? So this is the only one. Now I need to combine this one and this one. And that's going to give me a negative 16W squared. And 10W plus 63W will give me a 73W minus 70. And that's my answer. Okay? Let me just show you negative 4 times p squared is going to be negative 4p squared. Negative 4 times negative 6 is going to be plus 24p. And the last one is going to be negative 4 plus 9 times 9 will be negative 36. There we go. So this one doesn't have any value. Here's going to be 10p squared. Here's going to be 33p minus 36. I think it's a lot easier just to do it this way, in my opinion, okay? Now we're going to multiply a binomial times a binomial. And 6, this will be 6p squared. And this one will be 6p. The other one is going to be 5p plus 5. All right, so we're going to have 6p squared plus 11p plus 5. Binomial by a binomial. Now we're going to multiply. So this is what we have right now. We have 7c to the 7th power, right? And it's been multiplied by negative 7. That's what we have. So our answer we know is going to be negative because this is positive and this is negative. So it's going to be negative. Then right here, I'm making a 1. So that's 1. There we go, make a 1. So what I have left is C 7 plus 1. So that's going to be negative C to the 8th power. Now, we're going to be using the conjugates to multiply. Remember, conjugates are the terms that are the same but opposite signs. Okay? So we have 3y times 3y is what? 9y squared. And 3y times negative 5x is going to be negative 15xy. Positive 5x times 3y is going to be positive 15y. And negative 25x. So my answer is going to be 9y squared minus 25x. And this is going to be a square. 5x times negative 5x, it will be negative 25x squared. Okay. They're asking me to factor this one. So between the two, I could factor the 9. I can factor 1x and 1y. I have a 2 left and a y, and I have a 3 left and an x. Okay. So we got the greatest common factor. This is the greatest common factor. So remember what we have there. We have, like we said, the first term, we have a 9 and a 2. We have 1x and 2 y's. With the next one, we have 9 times 3. We have 2x and just 1 y. So 9 is on both of them, 1x is on both of them, and y is on both of them. So that's why this is my greatest common factor. What is left on the first one is 2y, right here. What is left on the second one is 3x, right here. Now it says factor by grouping. So by grouping, we have x to the third power plus x to the second minus x minus 1. So by grouping, let's do it. Right here, what do we have? X squared, x plus 1, right? And This is going to be -1. Why is it going to be positive? Because when I multiply -1 times x, I get -x. -1 times 1, it needs to be positive in order to get the answer that is negative. Now, greatest common factor, x plus 1, x squared minus 1. Now, what do we notice here? Difference of the squares, right? So x plus 1 and x minus 1. This one here becomes this 2. That's the difference of squares. The difference of squares. Now, you could answer it like that, or, hey, I have 2 of this one, so I could say x plus 1 squared times x minus 1. Either one will work. $27. Copy to this side. 29. 29 says factor. Mm-hmm. Eight. No, we're gonna have to do the backs. Let's do it. There we go. So the first term is gonna go here, 8x squared, and the last one is gonna go here. So we need a number that when we multiply 8 times 18, give me a 144x squared. When I add it, it's going to give me a 51x. Okay, that's going to be 8. No. Hold on. 3 times 48. And 3 plus 48 is 51. Okay, so let's do 3 times 48x. If I multiply these two, I get 144x squared. If I add them, I get 51x. Now, let's do what is common in both of them, okay? Right here will be what? 8x, right? And right here we have 3. On this side, we have an x, right? And here we will have 48, and 6 times 3 is 18. All right, and all of this is going to be positive because all of the numbers are positive. So my answer is going to be 8x plus 3 times x plus 6. I hope you guys have seen the video that I upload from YouTube explaining this again, because to me it's a lot easier to do it this way. 29. Let's do 31. Okay, so then this one is what? This one is sum and the product. So I need to find two numbers. So what I have here is p squared minus 5pq minus 36q squared. So I need two numbers. So this is going to be p, and we're going to have a q here. So two numbers that when I multiplied, I get 36. 9 times 4 will be 36. But if I add these two numbers, yes, so then this one has to be negative, because look what happens when I add them. I get negative 5. You see? So then it's going to be negative 9, and this is going to be positive 5. I mean, sorry, positive 4. So let me rewrite it. The answer is going to be p minus 9q times p plus 4q. Okay? Now let's do 133. So the first one, this is going to be equal to 11r squared minus what? 2s squared. So it's different of square, right? So this is going to be 11r plus 2s times 11r minus 2s. And we are done simplifying. 33, 35. Let's do 35. 35, we have just like the one that we did there. So this is 2n to the what? To the third power. And this is 5n to the what? To the third power. So this is like a difference of cubes, okay? So again, the first one is going to be what? 2n minus 5m. Don't forget to go back and look at the guidance, the factoring guide that I gave you, okay? So the first one is going to be a square plus multiplication. This is going to be 10mn, and the last one is square 25m squared. Difference of cubes. Don't forget that. Have that handy when you're taking the exam. Now it says solve here. So what are we doing? What we're doing here is the product, the zero product property. So let's do it. So we're gonna multiply this. Not multiply. One term is going to be equals to 10, and the other one is going to be equals to 0, and the other one will be equal to 0. Okay. 10, and I'm going to make a 1, and a will be equal 10 over 3. Let me do it on this side. This is going to be plus 7. So 2a equals to 7. And now I'm going to make a 1. And a is going to be 7 over 2. So here are my 2 answers. Okay? And that's 37. Let's do 39. So we have 3y to the third power 48y minus 24y squared equals to 0. I can factor the 3y first. So let's do that. 3y, this is y squared, 48. Oh, I see. This one should have been on this side, this place. Okay. That would be what? 16y minus 8y equal to 0. Let me rewrite it. No, we gotta do this again. Hold on. This is 39. So we have 3 plus 48y minus 24y squared equals to 0. All right? Now, let me just organize this. We always want it in descending order, all right? So this is to the third, to the second, and to the 1 power. Now we're gonna get the greatest common factor out, which is 3y. So this is y squared, this is 8y, and then this one is 16 equal to 0. All right, so we have 3y equals to 0, which we know that if we do oops, sorry. So what do we get here? Y equals to 0. Right? Now, let's do this part. This part we know is going to be 2 numbers that when I multiplied, I get 16, and when I add them, I get 8. So they're both going to have to be negative. When I add them, negative 8. When I multiply them, positive 16. So what do I have here? Equal to 0. So y is equal to 4. And here are my 2 answers. So always check, because you can get the greatest common factor first before you do anything. All right? Thank you, guys.